Okay, so we're going to go over quickly some of the software that you need to have and start to get yourself familiar with it. This is our Connecteam, and through this, there will be a display of tasks that will be present, things that were got big dates coming up by label, by creator. And this will be where you can look at stuff in our directory. If you haven't been added to this, please let me know when you're ready to be so I can walk you through it. You'll be setting up a section here for yourself, and disregard the sick leave and unpaid leave and time off we might use because it goes into the calendar for tracking, and then you'll have time tracking on tasks that are in the purview of the group. So when you get to Odo, I'll let that one finish loading. Our Odo site has, for each of our properties, a login, and you'll have some access to that once we do your onboarding with software and training. This is a good thing for you to go directly to YouTube and find the trainings, so I can send you playlists where you can have access to the business side of what we need to have and start watching some of it, because our development side has a lot of big pieces of learning tools that I put in a huge master file to share, because it is literally how you're going to start building commerce for yourself and working better in alignment, as we call it, congruently with me and everything that we have going on. I think that entrepreneurism is a really big area of, it's like a field of joy that you can find your niche in, but it's also going to require you managing that till and making sure that you water and irrigate it and make sure that you take care of the land. So if you don't know how to do that, then you need to have a coach. And we have a lot of ways of mastering our learning and our behind the scenes of things when we know how to go and pull in the information. So right now, I gave you a message about the software that we use. So you can go in and look at the CRM side of things, the installation, stay with the actual site itself. This guy is the best do-it-yourself. He is one of the main guys that I work with for the company. And he teaches all of this. He's a really good person to follow, and he'll showcase things. Now, I have not watched everything there is to know about Odo, so what you can do is start to find the area of impact that you want to work within. If you're going to layer your business doings with things that you can do and things that you need to learn, are administrative uses of the tools and software, so you can take a lot of the pressure off of me while we do business management and operations, leading into then event or project management and logistics and planning go along with that. Okay, so you're shifting from just software and admin to then out in the field and making calls and doing things that I need to logistically as things are needed. This is a big area that I need to delegate people to because we have project scope rollout for each brand. That's over 26 brands that have business IP and
If you're looking to
information.
upgrade your business
Okay,
systems and you're wondering if Odoo would be right for you,
I'm going to go ahead and move to the next. All right, so I think I've told you about the AIs to get, so you can have that. And then we have Pietra. Pietra is my creator studio. It uses AI, but it is technically and professionally the most advanced multidisciplinary tool that I could bring to cover 90% of the creative marketing, positioning us to have content and product that goes to marketplace. And since each brand will have its own content and materials and products and things that we do with it, the best way I would say is get onto the Pietra Studio Learning Suite and be able to go ahead and manage that. I need to look at this really quick. Anyhow, I'm not too crazy about their lack of follow through with calls because they don't call you, they just chat with you. And if I'm not on here, I can't see it. So I'm kind of irritated with them. They billed me $400 twice over the last few months. And I don't subscribe to their premium because I have not been in operation to warrant me doing that. So how did it all of a sudden jump from 39? It went to 69 once, and then it went boom up to 300. And it's like 399 is their fee. So pretty irritated with that right now. Anyhow, so you should have a Calendly set up to your Gmail. You should have a domain that you choose when you're ready. We'll go through Ionis and get that done. Do not do it on your own because I have a partner portal with Ionis that goes through all of this stuff. Okay. So when you're ready to go pro, then we'll go through and we'll do this and we'll create the user and password and everything and get that set up. So we have a parent organization that goes through and we have to break it up into bite-sized sites. So on our master hub, there's over 600 pages, and it really pissed me off last night when it came up and it just changed my full freaking screen here. Although it does let me have some features that Manus doesn't do, Manus still creates much better sites, in my opinion. However, I still have to be able to afford to choose how to get these. I've spent probably over $1,500 just in the last few months to build out all my sites and features. I am classically trained JSON and Python and HTML, but not at the granular level. Meaning I need to have the AI walk me through certain things when I get hung up, but it's credit based. And Manus was just acquired by Meta. And so I am going between the GenSpark AI and the, because it does weird shit too. And it just totally pissed me off last night. So it's not connecting us to the benefits side. Okay. So we have 3 or 4 different sites. None of them have been put together the way they need to, except for one. And now we've got the ability for, this is through Manus again, which is pretty decent. It did a good job. It put some of the videos in here. However, when I go to click on, the production side, it doesn't put the link here, so you can click on BWEN to learn more about it. It also didn't put in what the BWEN stands for. And I've just caught through quite a bit of this where it's using the acronyms but not doing the actual spell out. Then I go back into searching through Manus, and it's like, oh, it's on, where do I go here? Da, 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 da. This is the GenSpark way of doing it. So we can go over and you can click on learn about me. It sorts things out. It kind of goes through and breaks things down so you can learn about me, but it cuts it off. So this should have been incorporated, the whole 9 yards, everything, into the actual login site. Let's see what she says. Anyhow, um, Tom is trying to get booked to come out here at the end of January, and we'll go over all of that later. But okay, so each property has to have a representative team. That think of it like your favorite little like PTA team or your football league or your soccer league. Every group has to have teams that can be interfunctional within, like if one mom's sick, the other mom jumps in and takes care of things, right? We have to have the same mentality amongst our internal people. And it's been a long haul, me trying to get those people back into swing again. And now I'm kind of shooting from the hip, and I'm not okay with this. It's very frustrating for me. And that's why I said it's important for you to really fill in and start stepping into a more flexible, feasible role where I can shove you in wherever I need to. The logistics side of that is you've really got to be able to start learning the jargon and the paperwork flow and processes and want to be committed to working with me on it. Most everybody is working right now without compensation because I am the one that is limited. So when I am not limited and have support, then I can move things around. What I can't do is justify things that are affecting my home environment right now because it's just not functional right now. I can't answer all the questions. I can't make it easy for you or anyone else. So I have to be the one that moves around. That being said, initially I was trying to create opportunities that could be made for anybody wherever they work, wherever they live to jump in. If you are capable of affording the mobility of transportation, I can cover a lot of that in, cash that I can give you and under the table money I can give you. But at this point, until I have my contract signed and hooked up into the software where I can justify movement of money and movement of people, I am not accepting any additional work. That means that we have a cap on what we can do until I get more people onboarded and get them into a position where they are serving the process and getting things done on the day to day, because we're all working together right now. And this was made very clear today when I was speaking to Jimmy about how we have to work as a team. And he's like, well, you can't have people that aren't up to snuff and have some kind of acknowledgement of education and capabilities. And I'm like, well, you don't wake up knowing shit all the time, but you can be intuitive to things and start stepping into being more proactive about how we can engage together. And I'm giving you the conversations as they're happening, and we can do a post call where you come in and say, hey, I heard the call and I understand these are your things on your plate right now. How can I help? Okay. Because I have to draw traction to the things that we're doing. And when I state that we need to have a roadmap done for locations, that's not your job. But you should know what that means by mapping out a location so you know load in, load out. And then when you look at projects from the stance of production, you know that if there is to be a script or a story or a path, that it has a lot of moving parts and pieces. So now the grid, which is the thing I was trying to train you guys a little bit on, it is the vehicle that organizes the flow of how things come in. So it allows for us to have a click on the location, the duration, the amount of jobs, the serviceability, meaning if we're going to a community that's not home base, then I have to look at people that are working in those areas and give them the option to become a registered provider with me so I can contract them. At this point, I have quite a bit of work that Benefits has for me to upload my sites and connect to my billing and my processing so that they can handle all of the people I'm going to register within Benefits. And I learned today that there's a sub and there's a prime business avenue for registration. So when I told them down my list of people what to expect, and I gave them specific information on each one of you, Jay says, okay, I'll hang 10 until Wednesday so I can go over what I'm going to be doing per person. And that's why I need to sit and have a conversation with you guys both on the phone at the same time so that I can write these things down and give them a checklist. And I did send you links to the profiles that they had shared with me. These are pre-made sites for landing pages. But if you have no business yet and it's a building block, then we need to build out what we can now and justify you as a service provider to me. And I take what I wrote down for each of you in those codes. And if I haven't done that with you, then let's go through that, because I don't need you to be in Benefits. I need you to be in a service contract. That is the same thing that's going to get uploaded into Benefits as a line item. However, getting you to recognize that you're going to be a service provider with Benefits, I still need to justify creating an account for you so you can be a registered representative and take on the workforce that is there. So as projects go through, there's always the thinning of the herd. When people go out, then they're not stampering around, mooing in one place. So right now I'm leading into the stampede, and I'm trying to organize things and get it up on the whiteboard and delegate it out. I don't think that it's going to be, I don't know yet. I can't predict yet, but I'm going to need to be around the people that I need to be financially connecting to teach and lead by example. Yes, a lot of that can be done online, and I'm managing it the best I can, but I'm going to have a street team that goes with me and is prepared to handle whatever we get thrown at us. And that I can't stipulate. You just have to start getting in and doing things, and me needing to see what you do and do well so that I can allocate that time to you to get it done. I just cannot train you on things and then not see the reward of that time being taken advantage and getting into the groove and helping each other. I think is going to be a big personal growth, but you're also going to start to understand what software does what and how we enter the projects in. And when you go through Odo, you go through learning how it's going to be, utilizing all of our tools, because it gives the person where they are entered in. A CRM is how we track and register each person. Every client that has a new project gets a new Odo suite that I set up. Okay, so we'll have our operations serving other people. And then when that project gets funded, its software goes active, and that software then needs to have mediators, somebody that's managing the entries. Teaching you how to do that is probably going to be a smart bit of time to do it, but you're going to do it while we're doing it. So right now, as I'm going through and creating the field agent application, this is really where it's at. And I have to have this formal document put together because it allows for us to go into the scope of the brands, what you're working on, what you're working for, and then I give you the training for each property. And as we go, this will be a good way of earning. So when I put the site together for you that says that this person can be contacted in order to fast track an introduction or hold a meeting, and I can't be there, I can send you out in my stead. And you should have access to the case file for the project, which is in Odo and in Google Drive and in Aligned. Primarily, Aligned will never be a solo site because it'll have to go from there to the software that manages the day to day. The alignment room, deal room, is where we go to structure all the activities and bring in the different partners. Okay. From that, then you've got expectations. We go through this and we have sidebar conversations with each venue, as I have been today. And then all that gets transcribed into the software and it gets uploaded. So we'll be going through all of this and kind of looking into the things that are going to be earning for you that are autonomous and passive versus active job and active workflow that you do. Okay. All right. So we will have requirements for each peer that will be required to jump on and off different calls, different meetings. So getting functional with WhatsApp and paying attention to the conversations. It is your job now. It is part of your new business model that you are leaning in and watching and listening and pivoting so that you can, what I call, it's like you're picking the things that you can do and then taking it off my plate and showing me that you can get it done is the biggest way to get moving around and getting more things thrown at you where you can be a lean earner. We do weekly reports, and this is very important. And I can send you this piece of information here in our WhatsApp. Why isn't this coming in? All right, so go through this whole thing, read it. There should be quite a bit that you can navigate from here. Go back up here and go back. So, a production company should also be able to get into the event stuff. So we have a quarterly requirements for activities and events that are program aligned. And we choose what we're going to be doing and who we're going to be talking to by jurisdiction and what our missions are for each of our programs. So everyone has a new genre per program, so we can pick and choose what kind of areas of impact that we want to get into. Is education? Is it remediation, rebuilding, whatever? And then most of this goes directly to my email. So we have the main page here. A lot of this information is really good to know, but again, this is not the final product. Final products are being brought through combination between GenSpark and Manus because half a dozen things are good on one and half a dozen are not great on the other. So I'm trying to take all of this and incorporate it together. And we have a lot of different financial solutions that we provide through our ecosystem. And I'm not entirely sure if you have gotten this or if you've gotten to read any of it, but it would be good to kind of have understanding. This is also another problem I have to do with benefits is I have done some pre-approvals for lines of credit so that when I send this to Jimmy, I can have him immediately pre-approved. You can send this and it's got your information. Now, if you are promoting and marketing and handling our projects and our bundles and getting things into Better World software so our campaign is live, then any of our bigger phase plans that there's 30 plus days of work, it's always broken down daily, weekly, monthly. So the better we have individuals assessed at what their capabilities are and knowing what your cost of living and your variables are, then I can have a case file for you that will allow for me to move things around frontwards and backwards, even if it's off books. That being said, I'm going to shut up. I got family coming over in 15 minutes and I need to get ready. I will talk to you guys more. Please take your notes and message me when you're available. Thanks.